Welcome to your CryptoCast Daily. All the key news, none of the noise. Like and subscribe to stay informed. Here are the top highlights shaping the crypto market today. Solana's Yakovenko says Bitcoin must upgrade to survive quantum threat by 2030. Kevin Durant recovers Bitcoin bought at $650, now up over 17,700%, after nearly a decade. BitGo files for IPO with $4.2 billion in H1 2025 revenue, $90 billion in crypto on platform. Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is building a base as Hodlers exit and big money preps. Bankrupt exchange FTX set to repay $1.6 billion to creditors starting on Sep. 30. HBAR slides 3% as selling pressure intensifies, finds support at 24 cents. Stellar's XLM slips below key support despite expanding institutional adoption. Crypto ETF Floodgates open with SEC listing standards, but price impact may be uneven. Crypto gives away week's gains in Friday decline. U.S. Treasury takes next step in turning Genius Act into stablecoin regulations. Bank of Japan's historic ETF unwind sparks market sell-off, dip in crypto. Valor debuts Bitcoin staking ETP on London Stock Exchange in move outside mainland Europe. U.S. stablecoin battle could be zero-sum game, JP Morgan. CoinDesk 20 performance update. Index drops 2% as nearly all constituents trade lower. Ethereum developers set Fusaka upgrade for December, ahead of blob capacity boosts. Crypto markets today. Treading cautiously, with smaller tokens showing froth. Doge, XRP get ETFs. Token traders say, meh, Crypto Daybook Americas. GRVT raises $19 million to bring privacy and scale to on-chain finance. ARK doubles down on Soulmate, buys $162 million of shares after funding Sol Treasury purchase. IG Group buys majority stake in Australian crypto exchange Independent Reserve for $72 million. Stay tuned as we break down the details behind these headlines. Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko warned that Bitcoin developers must prepare for quantum computing advancements.
He believes there is a 50-50 chance quantum computers could break Bitcoin security within 5 years.
Yakovenko suggests migrating Bitcoin to a quantum-resistant signature scheme.
This concern arises from the potential of quantum computers running algorithms like Shor's, which could crack Bitcoin private keys.
Such a migration would require a hard fork, a complex process needing widespread support.
While Yakovenko stresses urgency, others like Blockstream Chief Executive Officer Adam Back believe the threat is distant.
Bitcoin Core contributor Peter Todd stated that current quantum computer demonstrations are insignificant.
Another contributor, Luke-Jr., emphasizes current issues like spam and developer corruption as more pressing concerns.
Kevin Durant regained access to his Bitcoin holdings after being locked out of his Coinbase account for almost 10 years.
During that period, the price of Bitcoin increased by over 17,700%.
Coinbase Chief Executive Officer Brian Armstrong confirmed the account recovery on social media.
Durant and his business partner Rich Kleiman recently discussed the lockout at a conference.
Kleiman acknowledged that they had not been able to resolve the issue previously.
He also noted that the rising price of Bitcoin had ultimately benefited them.
Durant purchased Bitcoin in 2016 after learning about it from teammates.
His estimated purchase price was around $650 per coin. BitGo has filed to go public on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker BTGO.
The company reported $4.19 billion in revenue for the first half of 2025.
This is nearly 4 times the $1.12 billion they earned in the same period of 2024.
However, net income dropped to $12.6 million, down from $30.9 million in the first half of 2024.
BitGo currently manages over $90 billion in cryptocurrency from 1.14 million users.
The majority of these assets are concentrated in Bitcoin, Sway, Solana, XRP, and Ethereum.
These 5 cryptocurrencies make up 48.5%, 20.1%, 5.7%, 3.9%, and 3.0% of their assets on platform, respectively.
Chief Executive Officer Mike Belshi will retain control of the company after the initial public offering. Michael Saylor argues that Bitcoin is showing strength, not weakness, during its recent period of stable prices.
He believes the market is consolidating as long-term holders sell some of their Bitcoin and institutions prepare for larger investments.
Saylor noted that Bitcoin is up 99% over the past year and its volatility is decreasing, which he sees as positive.
He compared early Bitcoin adopters selling some of their holdings to employees of a successful startup cashing in stock options.
This is not due to a lack of faith, but rather a natural progression, making way for corporations and large funds to enter the market.
Saylor dismissed concerns about Bitcoin lacking cash flows, comparing it to other valuable assets like land, gold, or art.
He believes institutions will eventually adapt to Bitcoin as a store of value.
Saylor discussed Strategy's efforts to use Bitcoin as collateral for credit markets.
FTX is set to release $1.6 billion to creditors starting September 30th.
This marks the third major payout since the exchange collapsed almost 3 years ago.
Payments will begin for creditors who have completed verification on the FTX claims portal.
Funds will be routed through BitGo, Kraken, or Payoneer, arriving within 3 business days.
United States customer claims will receive 40% in this round, bringing their total recovery to 95%.
International customers will receive an additional 6% payout, totaling 78%.
General unsecured and digital asset loan claims will receive a 24% payout, raising recoveries to 85%.
Convenience claims will be paid out at 120%, exceeding the original amount owed.
Stellar's XLM token fell below key support due to institutional selling.
Between September 18th and 19th, XLM dropped from 40 cents to 39 cents.
Trading volumes also surpassed the 24-hour average.
Analysts cite concentrated overnight selling as evidence of institutional repositioning.
XLM saw a small gain at the end of trading, defending the 39-cent level.
However, the overall trend remains bearish with resistance at 40 cents.
Technical analysts warn of persistent downside pressure.
Despite this, institutional interest in Stellar is growing.
The Securities and Exchange Commission has cleared a path for new crypto exchange-traded products.
This move could reshape how money flows into digital assets.
The agency approved generic listing standards for commodity-based trust shares across regulated exchanges.
These exchanges include Nasdaq, CBOE-BZX, and NYSE ACA.
The new rules remove the need for each crypto exchange-traded product to undergo its own individual rule filing.
An offering that meets certain eligibility tests can be listed using these generic standards.
This regulatory shift removes much of the procedural drag that has slowed new crypto products.
Many analysts believe the crypto exchange-traded fund floodgates are about to open.
Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies gave back this week's gains in Friday trading.
Bitcoin nearly reached $118,000 on Thursday after the Federal Reserve cut interest rates.
It has since pulled back to around $115,600, essentially flat over the past 7 days.
Ether also declined, falling to $4,460 and is now down about 1.5% week over week.
Solana and Dogecoin, two of the hottest cryptocurrencies this week, have also given back their gains.
Both are now flat over the last 7 days.
Despite this pullback, technical factors suggest some reason for optimism.
Bitcoin has formed an ascending triangle pattern, indicating steady accumulation by traders.
The United States Treasury Department is seeking public input on implementing the new stablecoin law.
This is an early step to gather information for formal regulatory proposals.
The government wants data on key areas like issuer prohibitions and sanctions obligations.
There is a 1-month window for public comment, closing on October 20th.
The Treasury is asking specific questions about reserve asset custody and comparable foreign regulations.
Their role includes addressing sanctions compliance, tax treatments, and international interactions.
This follows an earlier initiative to combat illicit crypto activity.
The Genius Act is the first major United States crypto law and a significant win for the industry.
The Bank of Japan will begin unwinding its $250 billion in exchange-traded funds and Japanese real estate investment trusts.
The central bank will sell exchange-traded funds with a book value of $2.2 billion annually.
Bank of Japan Governor Kazuo Ueda stressed the pace would be deliberately slow.
The announcement came alongside a decision to hold the bank's benchmark rate at 0.5%.
Japan's core consumer price index rose to 2.7% in August, well above the Bank of Japan's 2% target.
Crypto dipped alongside, with Bitcoin falling back to just above $116,000.
Japan's debt to gross domestic product ratio sits near 240%, with bond yields at multi-decade highs. Valor Digital Securities has launched its Bitcoin staking exchange-traded product on the London Stock Exchange. This expands the reach of the product that began trading in Germany almost a year ago. The product offers professional and institutional investors exposure to Bitcoin with an additional 1.4% annual staking yield.
It has been available on Deutsche Börse Xetra platform since November 5, 2024.
Each share is backed 1-to-1 with Bitcoin held in cold storage by Copper.
The yield is added to the net asset value, which is published daily.
Shares of DeFi Technologies fell 3.12% to $2.63 in early Nasdaq trading.
Access to the new London-listed exchange-traded product is limited to professional investors under current United Kingdom rules.
The $270 billion stablecoin sector has grown but is still less than 8% of the total crypto market capitalization.
It has held this level since 2020, according to JP Morgan Research.
This could make the coming United States stablecoin launches a zero-sum game.
That is unless the crypto market itself expands significantly, analysts noted.
Tether plans to debut a United States-compliant token, USAT.
Unlike Tether's USDT, USAT will fully meet United States regulatory standards.
Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies tied to another asset like the United States dollar.
They play a major role in cryptocurrency markets and international money transfers.
The CoinDesk 20 index is currently at 4,324.62.
This represents a 2% decrease, equivalent to a drop of 88.55 points since 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday.
Out of the 20 assets in the index, only one is currently trading higher.
The leading performers are Near Protocol, up 0.1%, and Avalanche, down 1%.
The laggards include Sway, down 5.6%, and Bitcoin Cash, down 4.7%.
The CoinDesk 20 is a broadly representative index traded on various platforms worldwide.
It provides a snapshot of the overall cryptocurrency market performance.
This concludes our CoinDesk 20 performance update.
Bitcoin has settled into a tight range, with $118,000 as resistance.
Open interest in Bitcoin futures has jumped to 149,000 Bitcoin, signaling renewed capital inflows.
Smaller tokens like IMX, NEAR, and Hash have gained over 10%.
Timothy Misser of BRN advises traders to keep position sizes prudent.
AVAX is the only top 20 cryptocurrency with increased perpetual futures open interest.
5,000 Bitcoin in long positions are vulnerable to liquidation below $117,000.
Most major altcoins, excluding Link, DOT, and TRX, have seen net selling in futures.
Bitcoin futures open interest on the CME has risen to 149,000 Bitcoin, possibly indicating new short positions.
GRVT, a decentralized exchange focused on privacy, has raised $19 million in Series A funding.
The round was co-led by zkSync and Further Ventures, along with Eigen Cloud and 500 Global.
GRVT uses zero-knowledge proofs to ensure transactions inherit Ethereum-level security while keeping trade details private.
This architecture addresses long-standing barriers to mainstream adoption of on-chain finance such as privacy, scalability, and accessibility.
Zero-knowledge technology allows verification of transactions without revealing sender, receiver, or amount.
Co-founder and Chief Executive Officer Hong Ye stated that privacy is uncompromising for the future of on-chain trading and investing.
The raise comes amid a resurgence in Ethereum activity, with August's on-chain volume topping $320 billion.
Backers see GRVT as a potential liquidity hub for $1 trillion on-chain finance market with various applications.
ARK Invest purchased almost $162 million worth of shares in Soulmate.
This occurred after participating in Soulmate's $300 million funding round.
Soulmate, formerly Brera Holdings, raised the money to build a digital asset treasury based on Solana's Sol token.
Cathie Wood's investment firm, ARK Invest, acquired 6.5 million Brea shares.
These shares were added to 3 of their exchange-traded funds.
These funds are innovation, next-generation internet, and fintech innovation.
Brea shares jumped from $7.40 to a high of $52.95 before closing at $24.90.
This represents a gain of over 225%.
Independent Reserve, an Australian cryptocurrency exchange, has been acquired by online trading platform IG Group.
IG Group has purchased a 70% stake for $72.4 million United States dollars.
This deal strengthens IG's presence in the Asia-Pacific cryptocurrency market.
Independent Reserve is one of Australia's oldest regulated cryptocurrency platforms and supports trading in 34 cryptocurrencies.
IG Group has the option to purchase the remaining 30% of independent reserve based on future performance.
This deal is pending regulatory approval and should close in early 2026.
The transaction will provide independent reserve with a greater platform for growth while maintaining its focus on secure, regulated trading.
Independent reserve revenue increased by 88% year-over-year, reaching $23.3 million for the fiscal year ending June 2025.
That's a wrap on this episode of CryptoCast Daily. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time with more market updates, bold predictions, and fearless crypto insights.